Are we going to get the painters to do a whole school now? They're all coming in, all these workers, they might as well paint the whole building.
Come to PS 123 and to see where our complaints, legitimate complaints about trying to attempt to downside and eventually dissolve the success of a great school as PS 123 that has a B rating. So I want to thank you.
I just want to say that this tour was so important for me because not only did we get to see how PS 123 is crumbling before our eyes, the inferior space, the fact that libraries are going to be destroyed, dissolved, the computer room last year dissolved. More importantly, the parents and the teachers, the faculty, they're not dissolving. There is a real passion in this neighborhood and in this school, and when we took the tour, you can see the eyes of the parents, the tears light up because they want to do what's right for the kids. And what struck me is that nobody was disrespectful to the charter school or that faculty or those children. There really is an ability to create common ground and negotiation and transparency. And what I want to say to you today is that I'm going to call on the Chancellor and the President of the Board of Education, Dennis Walcott, to suspend any activity here until there's a real meeting of the minds between the school community, the neighborhood, and all the people involved. Second, I am definitely asking Dennis Walcott and the Chancellor, and I will give the press a letter I sent a couple of days ago, to come back to us after you've conducted a full investigation of why police officers had to be called in to this school because people were removing the work product of teachers in this school. One thing that's very clear is there's a whole lot of boxes that are unmarked. People's supplies and resources moved into spaces in the school. No marking of what classroom they came from. No teacher's name on the boxes. They were basically packed up and pushed out, and that's what's all over the school. So we're here today, just to recap, we need a full investigation of why police came into the school and what the circumstances surrounding that necessitated police involvement. Second, we should have a cooling out period, a freeze period, until there's a real sit down between PS 123, the charter school, the Board of Education, and the area elected officials. This should not be who can bring more people to a meeting. This is not about, creating a political rally. This is about how we're going to educate all of the children, the charter school and the public school in September. So that's why we're here today. We're not here to make a political statement. We're here to do what's right. I want to thank Jimmy Yan for being here as well from our office, Shanifa Riera, from our Harlem office. And I want to thank all of you. You have a lot of heart and soul. Don't cry. Don't cry. You don't have to. But I have to tell you something. I've visited a lot of schools in this borough. I've gone to tons of graduations. I haven't been this moved walking the hallways of the school in a long time, so I want to thank all of you. Okay?
Thank you.
And we're on the case. So.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
If the public schools had been properly funded, do you think we'd be dealing with charter schools? I'd like you to, in your process to address that.
It's a real
They say that.
It's a real issue. Listen, we want everyone to have equal resources and
Exactly. In a democracy, that's what it's
yeah.
like.
No. But what's really amazing is you see the teachers and parents, and there's a real sense of ownership in the best possible way for the school, and I think that came out there.
Now they're going to try to, I'm sorry.
Also, about 3:45 yesterday, we found out what rooms we would be getting, and they're asking us to move our materials today. So that's a short period of time, and people are on vacation.
Let me show you. We're going to work. Okay, we will be in touch with the Board of Education as soon as I get easy, and we're going to do the best we can. I have to tell you, when we have worked with John White and the Board of Education, we have got results. I don't know the circumstances, but I think this has not come out to the public in a way that it should. I don't think the story has been told. What struck me was my resident news article about the police intervention. I was like,
Should never come to that. Should never come to that. Should never come. Listen, you're talking about educators. We can't sit down as learning individual and hash this out in a better manner. Shame on us.
You don't resolve it.
Shame on us. That's right.
I mean, the teachers don't even know that these people are coming in to move their stuff.
Can I just raise one issue with you, Norm Scott, with the wave? The question of if Bloomberg and Klein run the schools of New York City for 7 years, they're in charge of every school, and how do they manage to push the idea of a charter school, which it basically absolves them of responsibility? In other words, isn't that an admission of their failure if they say that public schools are failing and they need charter schools? Isn't there a contradiction in that very concept?
You know, my purpose of the visit today is to see what was going on firsthand. Talk to the parents and the faculty, and then try to figure out a solution. So for me, today's not about that fight. My fight today is about how can I deal with it.
But we understand this, but this is just a little fire, a little spark. It'll go. There's a spark down the block, there's a spark in Brooklyn. These sparks are flaring up all over the city. The question is, if you only address this issue without the bigger issue.
But part of resolving this issue is politicians have to be here. We have to see firsthand.
We appreciate
you can't just read that. And part of what I got to figure out is how to navigate to best represent, you know, the kids and the parents.
But it's happening all over the city, so it's not. You just try to put out a fire.
She's in Bed-Stuy, and charter schools are literally stealing kids out of her school. They're stealing the best kids.
We're an A school, successful A school. So you can't just put out fires in every little place. You have to have a solution for the city.
There has to be an overall policy.
Yeah, I have a school uptown on 153rd Street where we lost an entire class to do charter schools. It's an outflow of children. And successful charter schools.
I would certainly want to sit down with everybody. Why don't we? I think there's a couple of things we have to do. But I would certainly want to talk to you more. I don't think we've been. You know,
if I may, I just want to add. I want to thank him for coming because you got to have a start. And all you're doing is echo the sentiments that's here in Brooklyn, in Queens, and across the board, across the city. So this is a start. Maybe this is the litmus test. Maybe we're going to have to run the marathon so the rest of the schools can run a sprint. So we just want to thank you. I know you have a tight schedule.
We'll be in touch. Okay, thanks.
Bring Patrick back. Bring Patrick Sullivan back.
Let me make something clear. Let me make something clear. To the 20 individuals who contacted me about Patrick was not fired. There's a little misinformation going on. I believe the Senate bill is going to pass, whatever that will be, and then Patrick, in the role that I appointed him, the PEP, if he wants to continue, he will be there. So there's some misinformation going around the block that he was fired. He wasn't fired. He is still my rep on the PEP, the most independent member of the PEP, serving at my pleasure, voting no, and representing the parents. But in this particular reconstituting the board, there were other issues that had to be addressed through this temporary process. And so I have no regret putting Jimmy where he needed to be in terms of a legal advisor and a whole host of issues. People have to understand that. But there has been some misinformation. Whether Patrick continues the PP if he wants to, I will promise there will be an independent, strong parent voice as my appointee as long as I'm borough president. I want to make that clear.
Great, thank you.
Charter schools, no. Public schools, yes. Charter schools, no. Public schools, yes.